today's ASMR video in which I'll be talking about human body. It is a fantastically complicated machine made from millions of different parts that are all packed tightly together beneath our skin. To understand better how human body works, we need to look inside and see how the parts fit and work together to make us living, breathing, thinking human beings. Let us explain this picture. The organs and tissues that make up our body are organized into groups that we call systems. Each system does a particular job. Our digestive system, for example, breaks down food into nutrients that our body can absorb. Our circulatory system transports these nutrients and other vital chemicals around our body. Let me show some of the main body systems. The system that allows our body to react with speed is a nervous system. Thousands of nerves run through the body, carrying electric signals to and from our brain. Some nerves bring signals from sense organs to the brain, and others send signals to muscles to make the body react. Then we have respiratory system. All our body cells need a supply of life-giving oxygen, which comes from air. Our respiratory system's job is to take in oxygen and pass it to the blood. The main organs in this system are the lungs, which suck in air when we breathe. circulatory system is composed of the heart, blood, and a network of blood vessels. Their job is to transport vital supplies such as oxygen and food molecules around our body. Blood also carries away waste chemicals for disposal. Everything we eat passes through our digestive system, a long, complicated tube that runs from our mouth to our anus. The organs of the digestive system break down the large molecules in food into small molecules that our blood can absorb. Couple of words about the reproductive system. This body system works only during adulthood and is different in man and woman. Its job is to produce babies. Male sex cells from a man's reproductive system join with female sex cells inside a woman's reproductive system and grow into a baby. Muscular system. Muscles are what make us move. Our largest muscles work by pulling on bones to move our skeleton, allowing us to run, jump, or kick a ball. Muscles also keep our heart beating and churn the food inside our stomach. Next system is the immune system. Its job is to keep us healthy by fighting off germs, microscopic organisms that can cause disease. Any germs that get inside our body are attacked by white blood cells, which patrol the blood and other tissues for invaders. And at the end, we have the skeletal system. The skeleton is a tough, living framework of bones that supports the weight of our body and protects delicate internal organs such as the brain, and heart. The skeletal and muscular systems work together to move our body. Just as a building is made from thousands of bricks stacked carefully together, the human body is constructed from simple parts that fit together in an organized way. Small living units called cells are joined together much like bricks to form larger structures called tissues, which are used in turn to build organs and organ systems. The smallest individual parts in our body are atoms and molecules. The DNA molecule stores the instructions needed to build and maintain the body. Every part of the body is made up of tiny living units called cells. There are 75 trillion cells in the human body. Most of them are specialized to do specific jobs, from storing fat to carrying nerve signals. Cells join in groups to form tissues. The wall of the heart, for instance, is made of a special kind of muscle tissue. Other tissues include skin, fat, and bone. Tissues join together to form organs such as the heart or brain. Organs perform a specific job. The heart's job is to pump blood around the body. Organs work together in systems. The human body is made almost entirely from just a handful of simple chemical elements. Among the most abundant elements in the body are oxygen and hydrogen. which make up water molecules. And our bodies are about 60% water. Some elements, including sodium, magnesium, and iron, are essential for life, but needed in only very small amounts. By mass, the human body is 65% oxygen. Here, light green color. The next most abundant element is carbon, which forms the backbone of all organic molecules. Here, dark green is carbon, 18%. Then we have 10% of hydrogen and some other elements. In the past, doctors could study the inner workings of the human body only by dissecting corpses, and they had no way of looking inside a living person's body to see what was causing their illness. But today, scanning machines and other technologies allow doctors to examine a person's insides in many different ways. These techniques make it possible to spot a disease in the very earliest stages, when it is easiest to cure. Here we have some examples of these techniques. X-ray image are a form of electromagnetic radiation like light, but are invisible to our eyes. They are shown through the body and captured by cameras to make images of bones. MRA scan or magnetic resonance imaging. The scanning machine uses powerful magnets to make water molecules in the body give out radio waves. A computer then turns these waves into an image, such as the brain scan image here. CT scan or computerized tomography are using beams of X-rays that are shown through the body from multiple angles and then used by a computer to build a 3D image. Doctors use this technique to view slices through our body. Here we see ultrasound picture. This technique is used to see, for example, babies in the mother's body. High-pitched sound waves that we cannot hear are beamed into the body and bounce off internal organs, producing echoes that a computer turns into images. The other technique is endoscope. It is a flexible tube with a tiny camera and a light at the end. It is pushed into the body through either a natural opening, such as the mouth, or a small incision. Like telescopes, light microscopes use glass lenses to magnify an image. Doctors use these microscopes to see the body cells in a tissue sample and look for telltale signs of disease. Much more powerful than a light microscope is an electron microscope that can magnify up to 10 million times. This allows us to see tiny germs such as bacteria and viruses in great detail. Something about the history of the medicine. For most of history, the workings of the human body were a mystery, and people relied on supernatural theories to explain disease. The earliest recorded attempts to study the body scientifically date back to ancient Egypt. But it took many centuries before people discovered how the living body truly works and why illness occurs. When preparing bodies for mummification, the ancient Egyptians pulled out organs to preserve them separately. They discovered that the heart is a kind of pump that pushes blood around the body. The ancient Greek doctor Hippocrates is known as the father of medicine. He was one of the first people to realize that diseases have natural causes rather than being punishments inflicted by the gods. Flemish professor Andreas Vesalius dissected corpses in the 1500s and made detailed drawings of the bones, muscles, and organs. His pioneering work turned the study of the body into the science of anatomy. In 1953, English scientist Francis Crick and his US colleague James Watson figured out the structure of DNA, the molecule that carries the instructions for life in a simple four-letter code. The human body is a jigsaw made up of around 75 trillion microscopic pieces called cells. We have a picture of a cell here. Of course, very enlarged. Every part of our body is constructed from these tiny building blocks. Individual cells are too small to see with the naked eye. The average cell is less than half as wide as a human hair. But some are so tiny that 30,000 could fit inside a period. Cells work as independent units, absorbing food, oxygen, and other basic chemicals from their surroundings, and manufacturing the complex organic compounds they need to grow and function. Some cells, such as blood cells, travel around the body singly, and others are fixed together in sheets to form tissues such as skin or muscle. Here we can see a cell membrane. The outer part of a cell is called a membrane. It consists of two layers of special molecules that together form an oily film around the cell's watery contents, and thus preventing substances from leaking in or out. Large protein molecules are embedded in the membrane, and these act as gates, allowing only certain molecules to enter or leave the cell. Despite their tiny size, cells are immensely complicated inside. Each one is like a factory, packed with machines that carry out particular jobs. The machines inside a cell are called organelles, which means tiny organs. The most important of these is the nucleus, which controls the rest of the organelles by sending out chemical instructions. Other organelles release energy, manufacture chemicals, and transport substances through the cell. Let us see in detail the cell and explain something about it. Here we can see vacuoles. These bubbles of watery fluid keep various substances separate from the rest of the cell. Here we can see Golgi body. Chemicals manufactured by the cell are packaged by the Golgi body before they leave the cell. And here we can see microvilli. Some cells have tiny finger-like extensions to help them contact the surroundings and absorb chemicals from outside the cell. Here we have secretory vesicles. These tiny bubbles eject substances out of the cell by bursting as they join with the cell membrane. Here we see ribosomes. These tiny molecular machines construct large protein molecules by joining small units called amino acids into chains. They use genes as templates to get the order of amino acids correct. Here we can see cytoskeleton, fine strands of protein from the cell's inner framework. This is mitochondria. Cells get their power from mitochondria, which break down sugar molecules to release stored chemical energy. Here we can see lysosome, and this organelle makes powerful chemicals that attack and break down unwanted substances and burn out cell parts. Here, inside is a cytoplasm, a jelly-like fluid made mostly of water that fills the space between the cell's organelles. So all this blue inside is cytoplasm. And here we can see endoplasmic reticulum, folded membranes from a network of separate compartments in which various chemicals are manufactured, broke down, or stored. We can see how complex is one tiny cell. just a couple of seconds, 30 million new cells will form in our body. There are more than 200 different types of cells in the human body, and each type is specialized to do a particular job. Some, such as skin cells or blood cells, last just a few weeks before dying, and they are continually replaced. But others, such as brain cells, can last a lifetime. Here we can see a red blood cell. These disc-shaped cells carry oxygen around the body, and they are packed with a red pigment called hemoglobin. Here we can see epithelial cell. The inside of the mouth and intestines are lined with these cells, and special toughened epithelial cells form the skin. Here we can see a fat cell. Body fat is stored in these fat cells, which expand like balloons, as well as storing energy. Fat cells help keep us warm. Here we can see egg cell. The larger cells in the human body are these egg cells. They develop into babies if they are fertilized by sperm cells. They can be 0.1 millimeter big. The longest cells are the nerve cells that run from our spine to our toes, and they can be 3 feet or 1 meter long. The nucleus of most cells contains a complete set of our genes, stored as a chemical code in DNA. A single cell contains about 8 feet or 2 meters of DNA. When they are not in use, this DNA is wound up tightly in packages called chromosomes. And there are 46 of these in every nucleus. The human body starts out as a single cell. By dividing in two again and again, it multiplies until there are billions of cells. The most common form of cell division is called mitosis. First, the chromosomes are copied, forming double strands. Next, the chromosome strands are pulled apart. And finally, the rest of the cell divides. And at the end, we have two separate cells from one. This will be all for today's session. Thank you for watching. Good night and sleep well.